What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. And by again, I mean for those on Twitch, you know, I'm recording this right after the Wild Blueberries rant. So I'm still a little bit distracted, but that's okay. That's okay. It's fine. We will focus. It's all about the Manhattan Project now, my franchise mode series here with the New York Rangers on NHL 17. Surprise, surprise, it's taking a while to sim through a season. We've actually kind of taken our time. We've been dealt a lot of injuries, a lot of roster alterations have certainly gone down. But now, as we will approach the end of the season, we will sim to the end of the season no matter what. In this episode, we currently find ourselves in a playoff spot through 47 games. Now, the Metro Division is pretty damn ridiculous. It's pretty damn close. Of course, in the last episode, we acquired Derek Brassard. He's doing all right so far. I feel like our top six is in a really good spot, especially Malta Stromwall. Holy shit. Like, holy shit, man. But the big question is everybody on this third line, of course. Robin Kovacs, one goal, one assist. Since we've put him with Kevin Hayes, who isn't doing too bad, but JT Miller hasn't done a damn thing. So it's funny that my opinion is kind of changing on Kevin Hayes. He's looking all right. Kovacs and Miller, not so much. And that fourth line is still looking all right. The fourth line is looking pretty good. Now, of course, we are dealing with injury trouble right now to one Anthony DeAngelo, but we do have Connor Timmins, who has done incredibly well. Again, despite being a defensive D-man, he has 89 offensive awareness, which, you know, gives us reason to maybe change him to a two-way in the future. And, of course, the goaltending, it's looking all right. It's looking all right. So, oh God, DeAngelo is healthy. Fuck. Now, see, someone's going to point out, again, I'm recording this right after the last one. Somebody's going to point out in the comment section of the prior episode, you're a fucking moron, you forgot about DeAngelo. You shouldn't have been ranting about blueberries and all this shit. You should have been paying attention, because now you have to deal with a very, very pissed off Anthony DeAngelo. My hope is that he will recover quickly. That is my hope. We will see if that's the case. In order to do that, I don't want to risk Brady Shea, but I do have to risk Brady Shea. Now, DeAngelo, I hope that you will rebound quickly from what is absolutely my fault, as opposed to when Brady Shea came back a day early and then started to complain. For one Anthony DeAngelo, it is completely my fault. Completely. Also, Owen Tippett is now an 80. I just want to throw that out there as we get the AHL lines set up. Of course, I do have a couple of players I need to trade regardless of whether or not we end up not moving forward. Ben Smith, we don't have a spot for him anymore. We're going to have to trade him. I have to trade Griffin Outhouse, who, of course, the game is put back in as the goalie again. So Suominen needs to be brought back in. And you could, you know, you could look at trading Joel Lundqvist. We can keep him for the rest of the year. That's not a big deal. We can keep him. But Outhouse has to go, as does Ben Smith. And I think we are good enough to keep, or to get rid of Outhouse already. I think it's been long enough. So let's take a look at getting rid of those two right now. And for the record, for those saying, get rid of Jimmy Hayes, which I understand. However, Jimmy Hayes is having a good season on the fourth line. 7 goals. 7 goals for Jimmy Hayes. So, we're going to keep him for now. Ben Smith, I'm sorry, but Jimmy Hayes has given me a reason to keep him over you. Ben Smith has to go. Griffin Outhouse has to go. So let's see. Where we can send them. And actually, give me 1 second again. Uno momento. All right, we're good. We're good. Sorry for that on the YouTube side of things. I can't keep Griffin outhouse. We don't need him. Like, he's not bad, right? He's not bad, but he does have the lowest value. Tyrväinen needs to be that third guy. Suominen also needs the time. So, yeah, outhouse he's going. Again, I didn't even want him. The game signed him for me when we only had 3 goalies under contract. So, let's see, where can we send Ben Smith? I'll try to send him out to Anaheim. We have the champion tag, by the way. We have the champion tag, and they could actually use an extra goalie. So, there you go. They don't have any third-round picks because I think we have them all. So I am going to try to get a second. Is that really going to go through straight up? Oh, my God. That's why pick hoarding happens. I shouldn't be allowed to give up Outhouse and Ben Smith for a second. I shouldn't. But it went through. So why would I not take it? Why would I intentionally take a worse deal? It's so dumb. But whatever. We have half the second round. It feels like, or at least a third, in this next damn draft. It's unreal. Anyway, let's get going with the sim. Robin Kovacs, pressure's on, buddy. JT Miller, pressure's on. Kevin Hayes, you're giving me a reason to want to keep you around. Kind of. I mean, 23 points in 47 games is decent. Keep it up. At least get to 40, or you are probably out of here. But I'm happy with the fourth line at the moment, especially Kruger being an 85. My main concern at the moment, Anthony DeAngelo. And will he recover? I have a feeling that he will. And if he doesn't, odds are he's going to be traded sooner rather than later, because Connor Timmins is looking like a monster who is going to be NHL ready sooner rather than later. Again, we had other defensemen, in this series, whether it was Joe Gattenby, Neil Pionk, that, they probably weren't going to upend Anthony DeAngelo. Connor Timmins, though, a really good chance of stealing that spot. A very good chance as we win our first 3 games of the episode. Not too shabby at all. We'll keep the sim going. Again, if we are in postseason contention, we go for it. Simply put, if there's a chance to make the playoffs and win the cup, we go for it. This was supposed to be a semi-rebuilding year, and at a time, it was. I mean, you look at what the lineup was at certain points in the last episode. It was rough. It was not good, to say the least. So, if we make the playoffs this year, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Tyrväinen gets into the lineup. Suominen, my God, the Finns are out of control. They are the goalie tandem right now in Hartford. Shestyorkin, by the way, 927 save percentage, 921 for Halverson. I told you guys Halverson would end up being as good as Georgiev, right? There was a lot of disappointed people when I traded Georgiev. So, Halverson's just as good, though, so I feel good with that trade. However, Shestyorkin still only being an 85. Concerning. Very concerning. And Robin Kovacs has put up goals. He has 2 goals so far in the episode, so our team might be kind of set. Maybe. Again, there are other players we could technically sign. Like, if I wanted to be cheap as hell, I could go out and sign Matt Duchene. I could send Robin Kovacs down or play him on the 4th line, scratch Jimmy Hayes, sign Matt Duchene, and then trade him for a first-round pick at the deadline. That would be a bit ridiculous, though. Just a bit. Even I would find that ridiculous. But we will keep going here. Luukkonen is not going to be fully healthy on this game, but we will pay attention because we don't need his overall to plummet. Is he 100%? Please let me know. Let me know. Come on, game. Just let me know. Is he 100%? He's not. Okay, cool. Will he be 100% for this game on Sunday? Yes, he is. Okay, good. Good. Let's put that change into effect. We are still in second place in the division, 1 point behind the Carolina Hurricanes. 1 point behind the Hurricanes, so we're looking all right. It's looking good. Well, we will actually take a look at some of the different options. Did Tyrväinen get to play? He did, and he did incredibly well, to the point where he went up an overall point in just 2 appearances. By the way, 3 Finnish goalies right now. That's all we have is Finnish goalies. So to my Finnish fans, I love you. Connor Timmins is an 82. By the way, Hemsky up to a 79. Kuhlman, a 77. We're looking all right. Robin Kovacs starting to put up points. JT Miller, not so much. Here's the thing, though. I think I would probably keep JT Miller just to not disrupt, just to not disrupt everything. I mean, he knows he's playing like garbage. So I think I'd probably just leave him on the team anyway. Oh, has D'Angelo recovered? He hasn't. Complaining about ice time. Which is ridiculous. You have power play time. So since when are you going to be complaining about ice time when you have power play time? What's the matter with you? I'll give you penalty kill time too. Graves doesn't need it. Graves doesn't need it. So let's get D'Angelo on the PK. It's a shame he hasn't bounced back yet. I really thought he would have. But that's okay. That's okay. So right now, looking at the team. Zook, Zook, perfect. Perfect. Zibanejad, good season. Stromwall, 30 goals. Great season. Skinner, doing all right. Brassard, 13 points in 20 games is pretty damn good, though. So I'll give him credit. Turris, fantastic. JT Miller, not great at all. Kevin Hayes, good season. I think he's doing enough that will keep him around. Robin Kovacs, again, doing well. And that 4th line, I am incredibly happy. So as far as the team goes, I think we keep it the same. The only question is, should I change JT Miller to a grinder, playmaker, sniper? Power forward didn't work. Two-way forward hasn't worked. So grinder might work. Playmaker, sniper, maybe. We will probably change JT Miller's player type again. But aside from that, I think we're looking good. I think we're looking good. The only concern is D'Angelo. And again, if he doesn't bounce back, not that I want to trade him, but if he doesn't bounce back, I'll scratch him for the playoffs, and we'll play Connor Timmins. We'll do it that way. We have Connor Timmins. He's just about NHL ready, even though he's still showing up as a minor league top 4 defenseman, which is ridiculous, by the way. But let's see here. So yeah, we have Kovacs as a sniper. Kevin Hayes as a sniper. So yeah, we'll go with JT Miller. And you know what? Fuck it, we'll try him as a sniper. If that doesn't work, I'll switch him to a grinder. If that doesn't work, we'll switch him to a playmaker. JT Miller, we will fix you. Because we cannot afford... And I mean, not fix as in like, oh, you're a dog. We will fix you and not like in the Coldplay way. We'll find a way to make you actually remember how to play the goddamn game of hockey. Because I don't want to trade you. It would disrupt the morale of this team. We need you, JT. We need you. So figure it out. Please. Because this team's looking pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, for a team that traded Kreider and Nino Niederreiter. I keep forgetting we had Nino Niederreiter. Again, I try to put the last offseason out of my mind when I basically ended up out of my mind because of everybody, declining trade offers, which or re-sign offers, which, by the way, that's going to come back to haunt us in a few years, having to pay everybody that little bit of extra money. But anyway, we're in a good spot. So let's move forward. I don't see the need. I mean, we have 5 games before the deadline. On March 1st, we play the Bruins that day. So we are going to sim straight to the deadline now. Like I said, we will end up simming to the end of the year, and the playoffs might just begin in the next episode. Not to jinx anything, but Yeah. Can I do 3 weeks, 2 weeks? That'd be 20%, and we'll go 2 weeks each. We'll go 2 weeks each for now in the scouting. We lose to Chicago 6-1, and we actually have lost 4 out of our last 5. Hasn't been a very kind month here, so maybe we won't make the playoffs. But again, we're not out of it. We're right in the middle of it as far as being in playoff contention, despite the fact that we just lost 7-0 to Pittsburgh. And this month of February was a month to forget. This is eerily reminiscent to Season 2, where we missed out on the last day of the season. Yikes. And we lost 4-0 to Winnipeg. All right. Well, I was confident. We are losing games. We do find ourselves outside. Oh my God. Wow, that month was awful for us. Holy shit. Like, that month was brutal for us. Wow. And now we find ourselves 5 points back of Carolina when we were 1 point back not that long ago. 21 games to go in the season. We're going for it. This was worst case scenario. Where there's no, we're not in a playoff spot, but we're also not bad enough that we should consider blowing it up. We have to go for it. And it's that kind of, not necessarily indecisiveness, but we're in that type of spot where we pretty much have no choice. We have to go for it, and if we miss from this point on, then damn. That's all I could say. Damn, if we miss from this point on. For now, I think we got to keep moving forward. The team will stay the same, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I don't see anything changing. JT Miller has only gotten worse. That third line in general, though, man. Oh my God. That third line in general is just so bad. And I don't know why. Plus minus wise. Shit. Fourth line I'm still happy with. D'Angelo hasn't bounced back at all, by the way, which is infuriating. Also doesn't get along with Delorier and Brassard. Shit. Maybe we do have decisions to make. D'Angelo should have turned around by now because he does have power play time and he does have PK time. He should have gotten his shit together at this point. I don't want to give up on him just yet because I don't want to kill the morale of a team that's already been struggling for the past month. So it might not be the right decision, but I'm going to hold on to D'Angelo and hope that he can figure it out. As far as alternates and anything like that goes, there's really nobody that I can, strip of a letter to give to him. Oh, damn. Hold on here. Because here's the thing. Obviously, D'Angelo at 100% morale is better than Connor Timmins at his best for now. But I don't think... Actually, I can... You know what? JT Miller, say goodbye to your letter, buddy. Say goodbye to your letter. We'll give that to D'Angelo, and that will kickstart the recuperation a little bit. Hopefully. He's at least back to a kind of, medium opinion, which is good. Miller's overall hasn't declined, so that's good. He's back up to an 81. D'Angelo, get your shit together. And it's almost too risky to buy. I'll take a look at the trade block. What I am going to do more than likely, though, is keep the team together. And that's the thing. I could trade JT Miller, but it'll piss a lot of people off. Understandably, I suppose. Or I can just change him to a grinder. I mean, again, for forwards, and even on defense, right? I wouldn't even have to call up Timmins. I could try to trade D'Angelo and sign Hjalmarsson. And actually, funny enough, was Pedri ours? I think he was. I think Pedri was on our team. And I said he wouldn't make it. I was wrong. He's an 83. Just barely a third pairing guy, much like Graves. And then for forwards, I could trade JT Miller and bring in Duchesne, Nyquist, Sheary, Hagelin, and see if they can do any better. For the season, at least. That is a really tough choice. Do I mess with the team overall to try and kind of kickstart? I mean, it was a bad month, too. It was a really bad month. And then, yes, I know, of course, goaltenders. There is a certain somebody here by the name of Sergei Bobrovsky. Cam Talbot is also still there. we have some decisions. It's just, do I want to stick with JT Miller? Because Duchesne wouldn't stay long-term. Nyquist wouldn't stay long-term. Hagelin wouldn't stay long-term. And it's like, you look at the stats. I mean, Hagelin's just as well-rounded as JT Miller. Better skater. But for some reason, JT just can't get it going. So, I mean, if we were to bring in one of these guys, it might just be Hagelin because he'd be easier to manage morale-wise, I think. Because he wouldn't demand power play time like the other two would. At least I don't think he would. D'Angelo, Miller. Do I get rid of those two? And then not to mention one Robin Kovacs, who I still want to have some faith in. Because I have a feeling if we get rid of him, we'd regret it. He's up to 18 points this year. I mean, he's doing all right with Kevin Hayes, but JT, buddy, I don't know what to do for you anymore. I don't know what to do for you. Shit. That is a tough decision. I do want to take a look at the goaltending really quick. I don't think I'll make a move. Shesterkin apparently isn't going to get any better. He is doing all right this season. So is Halverson. Now here's the problem. I mean, Shesterkin's league average. Yeah, he's not Bobrovsky. But that also means we're not going to have to pay him like Bobrovsky. And if he's going to perform like someone of a Bobrovsky will, you know, someone of that caliber will, there's really no reason to go out and get Bobrovsky. It's just spending extra money. To back up my point, let me see how Bobrovsky did last year, and if he's that much of an improvement over what Shesterkin has been this year. I could be wrong. I flat out could be wrong. Also, I just saw someone else on the free agent list that might be worth signing. He had a 924. The year before that, a 919 and a 904 in the very first sim year of the series. I am not going anywhere near Bobrovsky. Not a chance. Not a chance. Even if we sign him for the $8 million this season, we'll get to knock that down to 6.5 at best. No. Not going anywhere near Bobrovsky. However, there was somebody here on this list that I didn't notice before, who was an 83 overall at 21 years old, a 5th round pick of Detroit in year 1, Alexander Katarinakis. We will sign him. I can promise you that. Holy shit. Also, there are a couple of medium top 9 guys who, not quite worth getting. Nikita Papugiev and Matthew Strome, also on the free agent list, unfortunately. But there are a couple of prospects here that I can get last minute. Including Greer, 75 overall, 20 years old. My God. Why haven't the AI signed these players? That is ridiculous. So the question is, what do I do with JT Miller and D'Angelo? Do I trust that D'Angelo can turn it around and in return sign, probably not even trade for a defenseman, just sign Chalmerson? Because our top 4 is locked in. I don't need another great defenseman. Timmins is going to be ready. So if I trade, I mean, bottom line is we're going to be trading D'Angelo sooner rather than later anyway. So I think what I'm going to do, it's a bit of a morale problem, but this team also could use a bit of a jump start. By the way, Bodie Wild's up to a 76 at 20 years old, and he's in the CHL for the last time this season. So what I'm going to do, and by the way, yeah, you've seen correctly, Shesterkin has pretty much hit his ceiling. He's not going to be that ridiculous goaltender that we wanted him to be. However, again, I don't think we need to panic. We've seen what 85 overall goalies can do in this game. I'm not worrying. I don't need a 92 overall elite goalie to have success. I'm not worried. Halverson's a good backup. We'll stick with Shesterkin for now. For now. We might get the chance to get that elite level goalie, and we'll do it in the future if we have to. On defense, though, I think we get rid of D'Angelo. We bring in Chalmerson. I think it's Nickel. I've heard people say Chalmerson, Yalmerson. You know who I'm talking about. We sign him. We potentially get rid of JT Miller as well, which I don't want to. I'm tempted to just try and sign him at a, use him as a grinder. I mean, that third line, it's pretty much locked in with those three players. Kovac's stats are ridiculous, especially offensively. So I don't want to get rid of him just yet. I'm trading D'Angelo. It's just, do I trade JT Miller? And I don't want to. But he's just not getting it done. Or do I give him that chance? At the moment, but then again, if I trade D'Angelo and Miller together, we'll at least get back a half-decent prospect. Carl Hagelin. Do I want to sign Carl Hagelin for the rest of the year, and then next year you would assume somebody else will be good to go to try and get that top 9 spot, mainly Elias Anderson, you would think. JT. Do I trade you for Hagelin? Or do I trade you and then sign Hagelin? JT, I'm going to give you a second chance. D'Angelo, you're not getting another chance. We'll get rid of you, sign Yalmerson. That's fine. That is fine. Question is, where do we send D'Angelo? Which, again, disappointed we're having to do that. Also, is there anybody else I can get rid of? Is there anybody else I can get rid of? Because there were those players on the free agent list. Defensively, we're fine. We have our 2 depth defensemen. Forwards, if I want to get one of those depth players, Joel Lundqvist has to go. Which, he will. He will. I mean, you could also argue Roberts and McKinnon. But for now, we're going to get rid of Lundqvist and D'Angelo. And we're going to look for a Western team to trade him to, for sure. St. Louis can't take them both. San Jose can, though. And actually, I said I was going to look at trading blocks. And again, if it's an episode that involves trades, you should have expected this to be a slightly longer episode. So shame on you if you expected otherwise. The Bruins are trading Nando Eggenberger, but again, we can't directly trade them. So let's see, prospects. Calgary getting rid of Josh Healy and Spencer Fu. Right, also Giordano as well, which we saw them try to get rid of him last year. Still has 3 years on his deal, though, so Yalmerson's the way to go. Is that Dan Hamhuis on the block for Dallas? Holy shit, Dallas is getting rid of Gurionov. 87 overall at 22 years old. Holy shit. That is tempting. That is extremely tempting. Also, Martin Hansel, is available as well. 1 year left on that deal, but, kind of along the lines of JT Miller, not looking too good. I mean, it's a very similar player. Detroit, getting rid of Cholowski. It's already up to an 82. Sproul, Eriksson, and Franz Nielsen, who's down to a 77. My God. Florida, getting rid of Jason Demers and a couple of other prospects. Trust me, Gurionov is a very, very tempting player. I just saw that Taylor Hall's on the block. Oh, my God. Taylor Hall and Jesper Foster on the block. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Oh, my God. You have no idea. Gurionov's tempting. I could get Taylor Hall again at half the salary. He has an expiring deal. Oh my God. Because then I could just play Stromwall on the third line and then everybody would be happy. Gurionov is so tempting. Taylor Hall. Again, we tried to sign Blake Wheeler. And it didn't happen. Oh my God, Johnny Boychuk's on the block too. Talk about tempting, but he's got 3 years left on his deal. Oh my God. Again, how many times now have we run into this wall of you go left or you go right, and the series goes one way or another because of it? That's where we are once again. Pavelski, Maroon, Braun, Danny O'Regan, all on the block. Wow, all expiring deals too. All expiring deals, not like we need them, just saying. St. Louis also selling, Steen and Bouwmeester. And then everyone else just kind of selling Winnipeg as well. Oh boy. Right. With Dallas, they have contract spots. Oh my God. Guys, I know we used Taylor Hall in rebuilding Hockeytown. I know that we've used Gurianov in other series, I do believe. And obviously, he's going to be a beast. He has 22 goals and 18 points for Dallas, yet they want to trade him. Problem is, if I get rid of Gurianov, I wouldn't know... Or if I trade for Gurianov, I wouldn't know what to do. Or who would... I mean, yeah, it would have to be Brassard for the season that gets dropped down. The problem is, I could legitimately get both. I could legitimately trade for both of them right now if I wanted to. Because again, in trading away a lot of our assets, we have a lot of assets. That's the problem. Now again, the plan of this series was for it to not resemble Detroit all that much, and we're already kind of on that path. But it's Taylor Hall. It's Taylor Hall, man. An elite scorer. Gurianov is right there as well. You look at what this team is right now. Our top six would be Zibanejad, Zuccarello, Hall or Gurianov. Second line, Turris, Skinner, Brassard, Hayes, and Stromwall on the third line. Really, and then that means Kovacs would go. Realistically, I could get rid of Miller and Kovacs. I could get both of them. How ridiculous do I want to be? Is the question. And I'm sorry for one of these, grand moments where I'm stalling. But it is a tough decision. I could get Gurianov. I could get Taylor Hall. I'm fully convinced I could get both of them. And get rid of Miller and Kovacs in the process. Hell, I could trade Derek Brassard to make this happen if I had to. It is so tough when you know you have the possibility to be ridiculous. Like, because here's the thing. I wouldn't approach Taylor Hall otherwise. I wouldn't approach Taylor Hall otherwise, but he's on the trading block. That's the problem. Now again, we start to rebuild this team, right? With the Kreider deal, stuff like that. Charlie McAvoy falls into our goddamn lap. He falls into our lap, and that instantly. Pretty much instantly. Because, face it. If we didn't have McAvoy, right? The defense would have been McDonough, Shattenkirk, Brady Shea, D'Angelo, and then probably Graves and Strawman. It still would have been good. It still would have been good. Forward-wise, we still would have been all right. We wouldn't have signed Brassard. But at the end of the day, the point is to compete. Wow. And here I said we were going to reach the end of this season in this episode. That is now in doubt. Because I need to decide how to approach this. I need to decide how to approach this. There are still questions with our goaltending. I know some people want me to get Bobrovsky, even Talbot. I still say Shesterkin's fine. I can look at what Cam Talbot did in the last season really quickly. Really quickly. At the very least, D'Angelo and Lundqvist get traded. because there were the prospects as well on the free agent list that were worth signing. But like I said with Shesterkin, .920 save percentage, good enough to probably get the job done. Bobrovsky, 2 seasons. His last season was fine, but the first and second season of his time here in this sim, he was awful. Cam Talbot, how has he done? .912, .922, .920. So he's been all right. Last season was a bit rough. But again, Shesterkin will make like, what, 3 or 4 million? Talbot's going to make like 4 million. Like, just, I don't know. I don't know. So instead of rambling on, we are going to end this episode. I am willing, of course, to listen to your feedback, your suggestions, and all of that. But I also need to take my own time to figure out just what I want to do. Because when you talk about having guys like Duchesne, Nyquist, and Hagelin, Hjalmarsson on the free agent list, Bobrovsky and Talbot for goalies, it's really solid prospects on the free agent list. When you talk about players the caliber of Denis Gurianov and Taylor Hall being on the trading block, teams want to get rid of them. We have a lot of options, and it would be best to just do what we're going to do. We're going to take a step back, and we'll figure out how to approach it in the next episode. Again, 21 games left to go in the season. We are currently outside the playoff structure. 1 point back of a wild card spot, though. We are very much in contention. Very much in contention. So, guys, that will do it for this one. I look forward to seeing your opinion on what you think we should do next. A lot of different options, a lot of different possibilities and approaches for how we handle the rest of the season and the series moving forward. Yet again, and this is what I talked about with rebuilding Hockeytown, these decisions constantly pop up. And again, it's like a choose-your-own-adventure game, basically. It's a goddamn choose-your-own-adventure game where any decision can drastically alter the way your series plays out. So again, that'll do it for this one. For those of you hanging around on Twitch, keep doing so. For those of you on the YouTube side of things, of course, we are done here for now. But make sure, I mean, you know what to do. You know how to support the video and the channel. Make sure you do that. Of course, the Twitch and Twitter links are in the description. You know all that. You know my normal outro at this point. I do thank you very much for watching, though. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in what will be a very important next episode of the Manhattan Project. Squeaky chair. Hashtag squeaky chair. I'm leaving that in the outro. This is still the outro. Goodbye.